Salam əziz tamaşaçılar, yenə də sizi COP29-un keçirildiyi məkandan, Bakı Olimpiya kompleksindən salamlamaq istəyirik. Yenə də mühüm əcnəbi qonaqlarımız var. Bilirik ki, COP28-də uğurla keçirilmişdi və hazırda COP28-in CEO-su, yəni bilavasitə rəhbərlik etmiş şəxs bütün bu proseslərə Adnan Amin bizim qonağımız olacaq. Birləşmiş Ərəb Əmirliklərindən qonağımızı salamlamaq istəyirəm, Mr. Amin. I would like to express my gratitude to have you in my program. It's a pleasure for me. Thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be with you.
Yeah, thank you again. So, of course, you were the CEO of COP28, and right now you are observing the COP29 in Azerbaijan, in Baku. First of all, I would like to know your opinion about the importance of the topics of the COP29.
Well, it's really a pleasure to be here. Since we concluded COP28 last year, we worked very closely with the Azerbaijani presidency. I think they have done a great job in preparing for a very good conference, a very excellent headquarters here that we have meeting rooms, facilities, which is a good precondition for success. The topics that are confronting COP29, which is under the presidency of Azerbaijan, are critical topics. These 3 years we are in, from COP28, COP29 and COP30, are the critical years for climate action. We know that climate change is moving fast. Impacts are hitting countries all over the world. Just in the last year, we've seen the floods in Sevilla. We have seen the fires in South America, in Brazil, in California, and many other extreme events which have impacted people. Trends are becoming very concerning and action is important. Starting with COP28, where we adopted the UAE consensus, which set the roadmap for alignment with 1.5 degrees. But COP29 is critical because COP29 is the one where we have to deliver the means of implementation. How are we going to implement this? What are the agreements around finance? What are the targets that we have to look at? And next year in Brazil, we have the COP that will look at the NDCs and national action. So critical period, but this particular COP is extremely important because we are negotiating the next generation of climate finance. For developing countries to take climate action, it's very clear that finance has to be provided. Otherwise, they have no alternative except to grow their energy needs on the basis of conventional energy. So critical point, and also a critical point to begin to stop the impacts of extreme weather through adaptation mechanisms. So this COP is very important.
Yeah, of course, I share your point of view also. Parallelly, this question is interesting for our viewers also. Everybody right now can, ask this question. The international community, does it find the solution of this climate change problems? What do you mean about that? We have, exactly right for the solution, for the ratio, finally, the climate change problems?
I think, there are different parts of the climate change issue that we have to deal with. One part is how do we begin to reduce emissions of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases to a level that will keep global temperature around 1.5 degrees, which will still have climate impacts but be safe. Once we go beyond 1.5 to 2 degrees or beyond, and the current trajectory we are on is almost 3 degrees, then we enter into a new era of very extreme events and unpredictable consequences. So the cost for humanity will be very high if we don't take action. So this is why it's so important to have an international framework where all countries come together, talk about their problems, talk about the opportunities, and come together on how we go forward. Last year at COP28, we adopted a very strong outcome on energy transition, tripling renewable energy, doubling the global rate of energy efficiency, zeroing methane by 2030. The study of the International Energy Agency that was taken after COP28 shows that if we implement those actions, we will achieve 2/3 of the emission reductions we need by 2030. But we need to find determination to do more than that. But to do more than that, we will have to have the financing to enable that to happen, both for mitigation to reduce emissions, but also to find the financing to help developing countries which are being impacted by extreme events of climate, weather, storms, fires, hurricanes, extreme events. How will they adapt to a new reality where the climate impact on their countries will be very strong? How do they protect their people? How do they protect their agriculture, their water resources? So we need to find the financing for that also. This is why the negotiation here in COP29 for the new quantified goal on finance for the future is so critical to the future.
Yeah. You mentioned that, you know, about concessions. I can ask this question for me in my mind, you know, every time I am, you know, asking this question. The international community has also, you know, in this direction, the right, the straight, you know, position. Do you see this position? Because if you compare the attitude from some big countries, they are speaking today on these problems, but when they are taking, you know, decisions, their decisions are completely different from their positions, their, you know, conversations here, discussions here. So the international community, of course, the big countries, they can assume this responsibility in front of this tremendous problem, climate change.
Well, you know, it's the same with every big issue in the world. When you are in the public spotlight, you want to look good and you want to look like you're responsible, but then you go home and you deal with harsh realities. How do we change our economic structure? There are industries that are dependent on old polluting forms of energy which still need to run. If we don't have alternatives in energy for those, it's very difficult to deprive people of jobs and livelihoods. So this is an existential issue for the world today. On the one hand, we are facing very severe events which will have big implications: health, food security, you know, climate disasters impacting infrastructure, cities. And on the other hand, we have the realities of the economy, where you have to provide jobs, you have to provide livelihoods for people, you have to produce food, and you have to use the energy sources that you have. This is the problem. Now, I don't think
here, excuse me, just one mention. Of course, I can understand the problems concerning the alternative energies, but they are testing nuclear, you know, weapons. Why? If you are speaking here in these platforms, you know, the problems concerning the climate change, but you are testing nuclear weapons.
Yes.
They need also this, you know, at these steps.
I think it's not just nuclear weapons, you know. I think the whole...
For example, France.
Yes. France has an important energy sector from nuclear. I think,
but they came here for discussions, for resolution these problems, because Azerbaijan has, you know, liberated its lands from Armenian occupation. Yeah. This is their pretext.
This is so. I cannot speak for France. I'm not French.
Just for an example.
I can't speak for them. But what I will say is that I think that leaders around the world understand this problem, and that we have to find solutions. You know, you are going to see a lot of hypocrisy in this world. It's part of how the world works. What we have to focus is what brings us together for a common interest for the future. Yeah. And that common interest is finding new sources of energy, reducing emissions, and finding a solution to climate change that can help us to develop our economies, generate employment and prosperity for the future. And that's how we should be looking at climate action.
Mr. Amin, this is an interesting question for our viewers also. watchers that how many time we need the international community for transition to this alternative energy? How many years we need?
The technology is available today.
Available today.
The cost of the technology has come to a point where it has become increasingly affordable. It depends on our decisions in places like COP29. How do we allocate our financing to make this happen? So the technology may be available, but if we don't have the financing, it will not move forward. So I think that if we are able to make the right decisions about the new quantified goal, if we are able to give the investment needed for countries to transition into new forms of low carbon energy, then this can be within the next decade. We can make this transition. But already that transition is moving fast. If you look at renewables today, every year all the new capacity added to the global power system, electricity, the majority of it is renewables, and it is growing, and it's growing very fast. We need to help this to become common in all countries with the financing that makes it cost effective for them to do it.
Yes, thank you very much. Mr. Amin, you have mentioned about the importance of COP29, and I would like to know your opinion about the Azərbaycan chairmanship of this international, very international event, and this area you are seeing here. What are your impressions about the level of this organization process? Because you are a professional, you have big, tremendous experiences in this destination.
Let me say, you know, we are friends of Azerbaijan. Brothers, you're right. And we have a strategic relationship. And since the beginning of the year, we have done our best to try to provide all our experience and help to our brothers in Azerbaijan. We have met the incoming COP president many times. We have worked with the team of negotiators, Mukhtar Babayev, with the Yalchin Bey, with the team, to try to pass on our experience, give our advice. I think they are well prepared. The facilities that we have seen are very impressive. I think that the logistics also are working very well. We see people moving easily, coming to the venue. You know, this is the biggest conference in the world. You might get 50,000 people here. Yeah. To be able to manage that size of conference is a big task. And from what we see, the facilities that Azerbaijan has provided for the conference are excellent. We also believe that with the strong experience that the Azerbaijani delegation has in multilateral areas, they are well equipped to deliver a very good result. We want to support them to have the best possible outcome. It's a very difficult process. Don't underestimate how difficult this process is. We know. We dealt with it last year, but we are wishing them the best and providing our full support to them.
Very well. You know, and in the end, of course, it is interesting to get your opinion about the Azerbaijani initiatives for COP29. For example, one of them I can tell you about the help to small states, power states, for their fighting with the climate change problems, especially the help to aid, you know, to the Iceland states.
The island states are particularly vulnerable to climate change. In the UAE, we have done a lot over the last years to assist island states to move to renewable energy solutions. A lot of technical assistance, a lot of financing has gone from UAE for these island states. They are facing a very serious problem, which is an existential problem, because with the sea level rise, they may not exist as viable societies in the future. So it's our responsibility to assist them, but it's especially the responsibility of polluting countries that have historically created the problem to step up to assist the island states, assist them with resilience to be able to withstand the impacts of climate change, but also to help them with their economies and with the energy transition that they need to make life livable in these islands.
Yeah, we have tradition in the end of our program. We give the possibility to our guests to address directly to our people. The floor is yours.
I think, let me say first of all, getting to know Azerbaijan over the last year and the people of Azerbaijan has been really a wonderful experience because we found a warm people, a beautiful country, well endowed. I did not know Baku was such a great city before. So you are making a lot of friends. People will be coming back in their personal capacities to see the country more. But you are also playing a very important role today, which is a global leadership role on the international stage in one of the biggest processes in the world.
Okay.
This is really a recognition.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Adnan Amin, for your taking part in my program. It was a pleasure for me.
Thank you very much.
And wait, please, just I translate for our viewers. Əziz tamaşaçılar, Adnan Amin proqramımızın qonağı oldu. COP28-ə rəhbərlik eləyib Birləşmiş Ərəb Əmirliklərindəndir. Proqramımız boyu müxtəlif suallarımız oldu. COP29-un böyük əhəmiyyətə malik olduğunu, ümumiyyətlə COP28 və COP30, yəni bu 28, 29, 30 üç tədbirin bu istiqamətdə çox böyük əhəmiyyətə malik olduğunu qeyd etdi, veriləcək qərarların, yəni critical, yəni bu həlledici əhəmiyyətə sahib olduğunu ifadə etdi. Onun üçün gözləntilərim çox böyükdür. Xüsusilə də yəni bu projelerin iqlim dəyişikliyi ilə bağlı, iqlim dəyişikliyi ilə mübarizə ilə bağlı layihələrin dəstəklənməsi baxımından ölkələrin üzərinə böyük məsuliyyət düşdüyünü vurğuladı və qeyd etdi ki, ümumiyyətlə Azərbaycanın bu tədbiri yüksək səviyyədə təşkil etməsi onda böyük təəssüratlar yaradıb. Azərbaycan tərəfi, Azərbaycan rəhbərliyi həqiqətən də COP29-un səviyyəli alınması üçün real nəticəyə hesablanmış qərarların qəbul olması üçün təşəbbüslər irəli sürüb və bu da yəni yüksək səviyyədə qiymətləndirilməlidir. Suallarımızdan biri ondan ibarət oldu ki, bəs bəşəriyyət, insanlıq, yəni fikirlərində var idi ki, alternativ enerjiyə keçidin sürətləndirilməsi bu iqlim dəyişikliyi ilə mübarizədə əhəmiyyətli dərəcədə təsirli ola bilər. Suallarımızdan biri ondan ibarət oldu ki, bəs insanlıq, bəşəriyyət nə zaman, nə müddətə bu alternativ enerji məsələsində daha ciddi nəticələr əldə edə bilər? O dedi ki, texnoloji nöqteyi nəzərdən artıq yəni buna keçid mümkündür və sürətli keçid mümkündür. Əgər dövlətlər, xüsusilə böyük dövlətlər iradə ortalığa qoysalar, o zaman bu keçidi yaxın 10 illik ərzində həyata keçirmək tamamilə mümkündür. Bunun üçün də yəni ciddi şəkildə maliyyə baxımından addımlar atmalıdır. Azərbaycanın təşəbbüslərini xüsusilə kiçik ada dövlətlərinə, kasıb ölkələrə dəstək verilməsi ilə bağlı bu məsələdə təşəbbüslərini alqışladığını söylədi. Ümumiyyətlə Azərbaycana minnətdarlıq etdi, təbriklərini çatdırdı və bütövlükdə ölkəmizin təkcə COP-la bağlı deyil, dünya siyasi proseslərində, dünya proseslərində artıq ciddi şəkildə rolunun yüksəlməsini gördüyünü məmnunluqla ifadə etmiş oldu. Ölkələrimizi isə həm dost, həm də qardaş adlandırdı. Adnan Amin. Thank you very much. Şükran cəzilən.
Şükran.
Thank you.
Teşekkürler.